Atta girl, Lizzie. Keep those hips steady.
96.
Focus on quality, not
97.
quantity.
98. 99. 100. Phew.
And as always, perfectly done. You've yet to skip a beat, Lizzie. RCCW and FXWF won't know what hit them once you and Payne enter the fray. Yes. Speaking of Foxy, where even is she? She was supposed to be here an hour ago. That's our Payne, Liz. Yes, a pain in the ass. Oi! The only pain you got there, Lizzie doll, is that stick crammed up your hole. And just where have you been? You were supposed to be here on time so that we could stick to regiment. Yeesh. Sorry, Mummy. Business be booming over there at Big Donks. So I stayed over to help him out, as well as myself to a snackaroo. And by that, you mean an overly large meal that certainly is not good for you, right? Oi! I can't help it. My belly welly was making the rumbles that only Big Donk's banana cream pies could satisfy. Plus, I had to run by and grab a cameraman for you, Sandy. A cameraman? Yeah. Remember that video that got posted with that Lucas Hackett guy going on and on and on and how you said you was gonna lay into him? Figured I might as well get you all set up here and now. You just want to see me tear him a new one, don't you? Oi! I'm addicted to people getting toasted. That RBD promo was tying me over for a while, but this... I need to see this. Why am I so blessed with the skills I have? Alright then. It's been a while since the CAW League of Nations fans have been graced with a video of mine, so I'll give the people what they want. And speaking of people wanting things, while Sandra attends to her business, you and I have some issues to settle, Payne. Oi! The hell you talking about there, Queenie? Running late to the workout session to stuff your faces with pie is one thing. But not bringing back any for me is something that needs repercussions. Oh, you're on that friggin' keto diet, aren't you? Yes, for those 2 weeks. I've told you this! Perhaps a bit of sparring will jog that memory, eh? Oh, ho, ho, ho! I see how it is there. Well, I hope you're ready to learn some strong style again there, Queenie. Yeah? Those two, they never change. Well, I guess we should get this out of the way. Why must all the clout-chasing weirdos come at me? Never mind, I know why. You know, at first this was fun. Seeing all the Klon fans, and even members of the Klon themselves, enter a riot upon the arrival of myself, Freddy, and the rest of the internet wrestling conspiracy. Just watching back that moment at Beach Blast to this day gets me giddy and excited at such a paradigm shift within RCCW as a whole. But, like all good things, they come to an end when we start posting 15-minute-long videos rambling on about nonsense and spewing a bunch of outdated insults ripped straight from the dusty bowels of the Attitude Era. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let us dissect the situation at hand, shall we? First off, Lucas Hackett, owner of CCW Cartoon Carnage Wrestling, and no, I'm not doing that stupid gimmick you do when introducing yourself. It was expected that you would have something to say about the ending of Beach Blast considering your friendship with Rick Z. However, taking time out of poor intern Jimbo's day to post a video response on this channel? Well, it's certainly something. And that something is a waste of time when you open the video talking about yourself. Oh yes, you give Rick C his flowers and express how happy you are that RCCW finally made its return. But only because it gets you closer to fighting Alejandro. Wow. How utterly selfish of you, Mr. Hackett. Not only to take advantage of Rick C's goodwill over a grudge that you still hold, but to waste a third of this video talking about yourself when the intent is to be addressing Beach Blast's ending? And when you finally address the elephant in the room,
You make a baseless claim that we are... I'm sorry, how did it go? A poorly made bootleg copy of the Dark Order. Merely because our logo is an eye. Yes, because AEW have copyrighted the use of eyes as logos. I suppose I'll have to get a hold of Freddy, and once this is finished, and tell him the bad news. But, back to the topic at hand. You then, once again, get it wrong when you say that I'm the leader. Listen closely. Get all the nasty, disgusting, mustardy earwax out of your ears, you cretin. Freddy Benson is the leader. Lincoln and I are co-leaders alongside him, but he is in charge of the operation. He started the thing, so it's only right. Not this little... I'm sorry, what did you call me? Something about being full of STDs and being a 2-cent whore? Wow, you really are an Attitude Era fanboy. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You're a deathmatch wrestling fanboy. Because you think that calling women like me whores and skanks will get a pop from your fellow indie mudshow bootlickers who can objectify women because they're mad the closest thing to pussy they'll ever get is their pet cat. My apologies for the vulgarity, and believe me, I always try to keep a formal appearance, but in order to communicate with CAW's answer to that racist freak, Superhuman, I had to indulge in basement dweller tongue. Lucas, I could care less about what you call me. Do you know why? Because I have heard it all before. People like you see a woman like me and assume that I get whatever I want, wherever I want, by surrendering my body to others in power. But you are sorely mistaken. Allow me to educate you on something, you sleazebag. I am Sandra Veronica Xavier. For years, I assisted in the reconstruction and the day-to-day operations of the global wrestling monopoly and Tiger's Den. I made stars and I broke stars. The mind for the business runs within my family, and I am no exception. I am not the blonde-headed ditzy bimbo you believe me to be, nor am I the whore who uses her body to get ahead. Everything I have earned. Even after the second fall of the global wrestling monopoly, after Tiger Mask W defeated Tiger the Great III, I went on to run various women's wrestling organizations across the world. To put it in simpler terms, Lucas, I actually know how to run a show. Afraid I can't say the same for you, considering an unfunny joke like Boris is allowed to have his own show and book himself in the main event of said show. Or, better yet, your world title is not being held hostage by some rejected Disney star with whom you have a parasocial relationship on X with. Oh, and for the record, I did do Lincoln a favor. I treated him to dinner at Bistro Le Big Donk. Him and his wife, Ronnie Ann Santiago, whom he is happily married to. So sorry to burst your very unoriginal and overdone bubble, Lucas. Oh, and don't talk to me about being depraved and belonging in a prison cell with the types of things you write in your stories, you mongrel. Listen, everyone right now, allow me to save you the embarrassment of sounding as much as a bumbling imbecile like Lucas did in his little video. The Internet Wrestling Conspiracy is not here to plunge RCCW into a cliche power struggle story that concludes at Evolve 2 with a 5-on-5 Survivor Series match in the main event of the whole show. This is not about power. Not in the traditional sense. The Internet Wrestling Conspiracy has its own agenda. It is to tear down the biased establishment and eradicate the soul-crushing status quo of virtual wrestling today as a whole, by any means necessary. RCCW is just one of the countless companies that needs this harsh reality check. The days of the company owners being biased and/or allowing single-minded narcissists to dictate the show's proceedings is a bygone era, and it is time we completely exterminate that mindset for good. I could go on and on and on, but I fear watching any more of this video will make my migraine even worse, as well as affect the long-term stability of my mental health.
So I shall speed run my last few points. It is adorable. You include yourself whenever talking about RCCW, as if you aren't here to solely be humbled by Alejandro. As if anyone would pay to see some indie mudshow wannabe like you disgrace this sport by stepping into that ring. You have a better chance of actually getting a woman to humor you a date. And no, be happily married to Roger, Jessica Rabbit does not count. You've already made a lot of powerful enemies in RCCW before even stepping into an arena, Mr. Hackett. So take this as a warning. Focus on your own wars, and conclude them before you jump into another one, you dolt. Otherwise, you will soon find yourself outnumbered due to your own ignorance. But once you get ping-ponged around by Alejandro, and you still desire to catch a case of CTE rather than take your ball and go home to CCW, Freddy would be more than happy to take a crack at whatever is left of you and give the rest to Philip the Snowman as a nice drink. And that is not a prediction. It is a spoiler alert. And before I go, if you thought the Lucas Hackett slashing was done, I hear Alejandro has a video coming as well, considering how you ended your little promo, Lucas. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to our workout regimen to prepare for the new season of RCCW and the return of FXWF. So, Taddy bye.